my name was Jack Sparrow. Told my mom from early, I'ma take over the world.
May the best woman win.
Hi everyone, welcome to Free the Wheel. This is a platform where we discuss anything and everything culture. My name is Sarah, I'm the mediator here today. On my right we've got
Faye.
And we've got
the cheek clapping connoisseur, Mike.
And today's topic is children. Women's right and men's right when it comes to raising them, payments, keeping a child, abortions, etc.
Well, they say ladies first, but fuck that. All of this kind of like men involved in, over women, all this kind of stuff is not really my pedigree. So I need to kind of gauge myself with that energy. So I need some toxic energy in my life. So
Who's gonna play Future? Predictable.
Here we go.
Predictable.
Ooh, I'm feeling it. Alright, ready. Alright, let's go. I'm toxic.
It didn't bang.
I'm toxic. I'm feeling toxic.
Alright, cool.
I'm up. As a man, if we go over history, and over time, we all know that the man is known to be the breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
The predominant breadwinner of all families. For that reason alone, he is on top of the food chain in a household. He has, in my opinion, the most say in raising that child.
I don't think men carry babies for 9 months in their stomach. So at the end of the day, I do think it's an equal thing. I think it's an equal process. As much as a man wants to be involved, as much as the woman should be involved, that's how it should be. But in the process of the child being formed in the womb and everything like that, it's the woman who has complete autonomy of that baby inside of her. She can determine a lot of different things. She can determine if she wants to have the baby in the first place. Is she keeping it or is she aborting it? She can also decide if she wants to have the guy in her life in the first place, because she can literally ghost and you'll never know that she had a baby.
Okay.
So really and truly, the person who has the most dominance or autonomy over a child is the woman.
Fair enough, you guys hold it, you hold the baby, you hold it there. But in a factory, the Range Rover factory, right? Range Rover.
Yeah.
They build the Range Rover.
Yeah.
If I cop the Range Rover and I own it, does it belong to Range Rover
So you're
anymore?
saying you buy babies?
A woman, in a sense, could just be like a test tube, just holding the baby, and then the baby can go out. You can adopt babies, you can foster babies. Just because you carry the baby doesn't necessarily mean it's yours. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily
but it does. I mean that it does biologically. It actually does mean that it's your baby. Like no one ever does a maternity test on a baby. They always do a paternity test because we can never guarantee if the baby is the man's, but we can always guarantee it came out of that woman.
I mean,
do you know what I mean? But I think we're looking at this from two different perspectives. Are we coming from a situation where there's a two-parent household? So are you saying that whatever you decide as the man or the husband or whatever in the situation goes over that child and the woman has no say? Or are you saying that if they were like separate, like I don't get that?
I'm just saying, you said that because a woman holds the baby for 9 months, she has the most say. But that's not necessarily. There's a lot of women that hold baby for 9 months and don't give a damn about the child. There's people that give away their children, There's people like surrogates that hold the baby for 9 months and they don't even want anything to do with the baby.
Yeah.
So generally, not necessarily, it's not necessarily yours just because you held it.
Yeah, but if I decide that so all the situations you stated is a situation where the woman has decided she doesn't want to have parts with the baby. Yeah. But if I have decided that I want parts with my child, then what's the situation there, if that makes sense? We're talking about in a situation where the woman wants the child and where the man wants the child. Okay. So in terms of that, like who has more of a say in the way the child is brought up, things like that. I think it's equal. But if you want to come with your toxicity, whatever it is, and you want to say that it's not the case, I want you to argue what that case is.
Well, to be totally honest with you, we all know it's equal. We all know it's equal, really and truly. However, right? Most of the times in these households, the father makes the overall decisions. Of course, you'll have conversations with your wife and you'll obviously delegate certain things. But a lot of the time, especially we're African. In an African household, we all know that a lot of the time, the most dominant factor is the male that makes the decision.
What about Jamaicans?
Jamaicans. Where are those fathers?
It's not every day. It's not every day. It's not every day.
I couldn't help myself.
Let's not play into stereotypes.
I couldn't help myself, man.
Anyway.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, that's mad. But no, you throw me off.
You know what that means?
Doesn't mean anything. It's demon time.
Before the baby's even here, like for example, when it comes to keeping a child, who has the say?
The woman. She has to say ultimately, literally. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it's fair, but in this life, things aren't fair. Yeah.
I've heard rumours.
You've heard rumours about what?
Rumours of how painful it is coming out the new.
Rumours? Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
I've heard whispers. I've heard whispers.
Alright, cool.
I've heard whispers.
Okay, cool.
No, do you know what? I'll kind of vouch for that on that, because if I get a girl pregnant or whatnot, for example, and I say to her, look, hands down, I don't want to keep it, and she says she's keeping it, what am I going to do? I'm not going to push it down the stairs, am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not, I mean, it's not EastEnders, so that's not happening. What the future do? No, he'd born her and just say, listen, here's £100 a month for thingy. But I'll tell you a little story, all right?
Yeah.
I'll admit something to you. I'll tell you a little story. It was once a day, right, about 3 years ago, I was sitting on a couch, right, watching Naked Attractions with a female that I had been seeing at the time. So I'm sitting there watching there, and she says, babes, I've got something to tell you. Eyes still locked on the TV screen. I say, yeah, babes, what's it? She puts her hand on my lap and says, babes, I'm pregnant. And in my head, jumping jacks, a million things are going through my head, thoughts. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? There's so many things going on in my head, and I'm sitting there calm, chill, just going, okay, interesting. But you know the killing pill skip and the sweat's dripping, and it's dripping. I'm sitting there calm. But she says, don't worry, babes, I'm getting rid of it. And I just said, amazing answer, and I gave her a spud and continued watching the TV. It was her decision to get rid of that baby, and she was correct in doing so.
Okay.
It was her decision.
So let me give you the situation. What she said, she was adamant on keeping that baby.
Yes.
How would you feel? What would you do? How would you react?
I'm so hot. Do you know what? I listen, I'm not road. I'm not evil in this kind of things, but I'd have to weigh my options. I would try to convince her to say, look, babes, we've got a long relationship ahead of us in which we can have other babies. I would try to convince her to not have the baby.
Yeah.
I'd show videos of terrible babies and shit, like demon childs, everything. Do you know what I mean? Like kids getting beaten up in Sainsbury's by their mums. Like, do you want to be that? Do you want to be that? I'll show everything I can be.
But what if she keeps it? Are you still paying for the child then?
100%.
Right.
120%. I'm in that child's life. Because I could never not be in a child's life. Like ever. Like me personally. As much as I joke about like being a toxic male, no way. I've got to be in that kid's life.
We both think about paying for children that you didn't want. This is mainly the men. You know, when a woman says, I'm going to keep.
If a guy tells me I don't want anything to do with that baby and I choose to bring that baby into the world, I cannot have any expectations of him. But what I hope is that his conscience will shack him and he'll think, rah, my child is out here in this world and I'm not doing anything.
I'm just a good man.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of horrible human beings out there that will just say, I don't want anything to do with that little niglet, and they'll just kick it to the curb. I know many a man. And listen, like we all know people out there that have grown up without fathers in their lives and how hard it is to do so. That could never be me, but it could be some people.
So let me give you an example. A rich guy had sex with someone else in a hotel room, and then the cleaner came in, inseminated herself without his knowledge, and then when they went to court, he had to pay child support for that child.
Look, the German people get guys and get their bag by having a guy's baby. Do you know what I mean?
So you trap them.
Me personally, I wouldn't do it, but if that's your bag, because some people are never going to amount to too much in this life, so if you see the condom there, better open your legs and just drop it in. Simple.
Jesus Christ, is this the life that we're living? This is what 2020 has become. This year's taken a downward spiral. I'll tell you one thing, right? Guy, right, with the rich guy. This is why me and the man them don't use condoms, because this is terrible. Man them know if you bust in her or bust on her, safe. Yeah. You can't lose. You cannot lose.
You can lose if you bust in her. What do you mean? Because she's going to end up pregnant with your baby.
No, before you bust inside a female, you always ask the question, can I?
Yeah, and
she can trap you that way.
the same way. So if she wants to trap you, she can just be like, yeah.
And she's a witch.
But that don't even make sense. What are you talking about?
It does make sense.
It doesn't because
I have to trust you.
So you trust every single girl?
92% of
Okay, so let's talk about that 8% now.
I've never bust an 8%. And an 8%, never.
You would never. But you literally just said like less than 10 seconds ago, this is why me and my man
I bust on the 8%. You know, all jokes aside, he was a bit careless with the whole thing, right? There's no way he should be able to pay child support. He didn't even know where he thought his semen was going in the bin. Next thing you know, his semen's done up this, I don't know, the cleaner.
Well, you know what? If you're that careless and you're just out here whipping it out to all these women at different hotels, and it's bound to happen anyway. She used his own weakness, which is having sex, and she used it against him, and she secured her bag.
Right. We talk about vasectomy and hysterectomy. Telling your other partner to just never have kids again?
There was a man named Neo.
Oh.
You know what? I used to really like that guy. You know, when I was sad and I listened to love songs that made me sad. Neo did terrible. In my personal opinion, I think in anyone's opinion, if you're human with common decency, you'll be appalled. So he was married to his ex-wife. They had 3 kids together. After they had the 3rd child, he was like to her, no, I don't want to have kids anymore. Not himself. He told her to get a vasectomy. With women, that's when they tie your tubes, or that's when they kind of like laser your tubes. I don't know. But either way, for women, it's irreversible. Yeah, it's not reversible. Yeah. For the most part, yes. It's much easier for a man to get his tubes untied than it is for a woman to get his tubes untied. So anyway, she's there. She did everything because she loved her man, you know? Women are told you need to do what you need to do to keep your man, to love your man, fight for your marriage. She did that. And then he divorced her. She didn't even want to tie her tubes. She did it because that's what he wanted to do. She was putting his feelings above her own. And then he went on to have kids with someone else. She's now there with her tubes tied. She meets someone. She meets the real love of her life. She can't have kids with him. He's met the love of his life now. He's having kids up and down, and she's there, barren.
To be honest with you, right, we all know that's a terrible thing for a man to do. I don't really know a lot about vasectomies, but a question.
Yeah.
If you have a vasectomy as a male,
yeah,
can you still bust a nut, or does it stop your nuts from...
So apparently what it is that you shoot blanks, basically.
Oh, what's the point? I can't defend him.
Yeah.
That's why his hairline went. I can't defend him.
Literally. So,
I can't defend him, man.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, I think a lot of the time men have unknown autonomy over women's bodies, but they use their societal kind of like privilege or power or whatever to kind of exercise that autonomy over women.
But is that not women's fault?
It's not a woman's fault. No.
Is that not her problem?
No, it's not her problem.
Because
no.
Who told you to listen to that? If
No.
your friend told you to jump off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff?
She doesn't have to do it, but
Yeah.
when certain things, like I said, come into play, your decision isn't just based off you alone. Your decision is based off you today, tomorrow, all the different people around you, different things that's going on. So those situations also play a part in your decision and determine whether you're going to do what someone else has told you to do. It's just about the things that affect your decision making as well.
Okay, I can vouch for that. The only thing is though, she did not have to jump off the cliff at all. I know Neo is a corrupt, hairline losing, hasn't made a good song since 2012, can't even bust a proper skank anymore guy, right? We don't know what he is.
Yeah.
Right? Trash. Terrible.
Yeah.
However, you can still say no.
I'm with my husband every night, which he's trying to leg me down, but he says he's not going to leg me down because he doesn't want me to get pregnant. And you're hearing that every single day. Eventually, you're going to give in. If someone keeps telling you time and time again, for the sake of peace and quiet, you're going to do it.
If a guy has a vasectomy, do you think that they should sort of talk about it with their partner?
Yes.
I was just checking something quickly about, like, you know, the choice thing, right? I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Robert Mugabe, right? I don't know, have you heard of Robert Mugabe? You might have heard of him. He was a famous president of a country called Zimbabwe. You know, when they once had an inflation where 2 million Zimbabwean dollars is what you used to buy a loaf of bread. How many times did they say lose power? And what did he say every time? No. You can always say no.
Mugabe had the power and the actual physical power to say no. That is what the problem is. In this situation, we understand. You first started this conversation by saying the man is the breadwinner, he's the dominant one in the household, he's this, he's that, or the other, right? Now, if this man who's the one who's the breadwinner, that I am based on what you're saying and what you said, I should listen to him and I should get the vasectomy. Now you're telling me I could always say no. Don't understand where the... Make it make sense.
Yeah, take that shot. Take that shot.
Drink it all.
1-1.
If I want to get a vasectomy, I get a vasectomy. If I want it.
Would you tell her or would you discuss it with her?
I know, I'll tell her. I'll be like, babes, I don't want to have any kids. I'm going to do the thing, innit?
But what if she says no?
She says, no, that's not your penis. This is my penis. This is my power. What I might do is I might give you like a little thing to a cup and you put it somewhere in the corner. Like, should you put it in when you freeze them?
Yeah.
Put it in the freezing thing. You can put the semen in the coffin. You know, put it there for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And then if I decide, you know what, babes, you can have my secret stash of semen.
Another topic we've got is maternity and paternity leave.
True it is. I won't lie to you. Like, in regards to this, the maternity thing, right? Because I think a lot of guys would like to stay a little bit longer, but not as long as women do. Like, I won't lie to you. Like, if I'm a man, right, and a lot of the guys that I know that I work with, and they're on a paternity, like, after a couple of weeks they get a bit bored. They're like, you know, I want to go back to work anyways. Do you know what I mean? Because really and truly, like I said, the man is the breadwinner most of the time, innit? So more times the woman is like, look, I'm cool to chill. The word paternal instincts coming like, I'm gonna look after the kid. And the guy's like, look, after a couple of weeks, I want to go back at working. I mean, it would be nice to have some more weeks, but that's just because I want free pay to chill.
To chill? What do you mean to chill?
To be at home.
You think with the baby at home is chilling? I'm not twisting anything. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Some twisting there, not necessarily. I just meant on the basis of, let's just say I'm a man, right? And like, I know a lot of relationships where the woman's been obviously with the child all day, blah, 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 you know, caring for the child. The man comes back from work, right? Long, hard day of work, and the woman's like, look, I've been with the child. And the man's like, cool, now I'm with the child in the evening, do-do-do-do-do. The woman's got time to chill and do without time. And she's off work. She hasn't got that to deal with two stresses. The guy's got to deal with the two stresses. He's got more on his plate to add with. Not only is he breadwinning, he's also looking after the kid as well. Let's be honest. That's a double whammy. That's a 2-for-1, like you said earlier. Do you know what I mean?
Think of that.
You think about it.
Yeah, take the shots. Take the shots.
Damn, he got me there.
Enjoy that gin.
So what do you think in conclusion when it comes to women and men's rights? Do they have equal rights when it comes to children and how to raise them and the payments of it?
I mean, really and truly, we all know it's equal, innit? Like, it's equal. Like, it's equal, let's be honest, right? It's 50% my DNA, 50% yours.
Okay.
We should have equal say in the babies. Obviously, there's different roles that you play. Do you know what I mean? You get right backs, you get right mids. And then at the end of the day, you play your positions.
Yeah.
And the team goal is to win. The team goal is to raise a child, to be, you know, to raise a child that's going to be a successful member of society. And hopefully he's not a scallywag. That's what you want, really and truly. You don't grow up your kid to be a scallywag. So, if you're playing right mid and I'm playing striker, and we're both winning together, equal play, there's the equal amount of effort needed to make the team win.
In my opinion, women have more power over their bodies when it comes to babies, when it comes to pregnancy, abortion, when it comes to also rearing the children, for the most part, if we keep it on how we see society is today.
Just because we do different things, maybe I'm not involved in ball progression as much as you are, or I'm not involved in scoring the goals or whatnot, but like I say, it's a team thing. We're both all given equal effort. It's a team effort. You're playing one position, I'm playing another, different roles, different things are needed of us, but we're equal. We're all equal. The baby's ours, and I love you, babes.
Okay.
So listening to both sides of the debates, I'm not going to lie, you all had some good points. Putting aside my own personal beliefs, I think when you spoke about is a team effort, that's absolutely right. But
What? What?
But in an ideal world, that's how it should be. But when it comes to...
This is corrupt.
No. When you look at the law, it favours the female. That's facts.
Yo, I want VAR. VAR.
That's
What?
facts. So therefore, I have to
Nah, what?
I have to agree with you.
What?
We've got a winner.
What? Is this camera on me? What the fuck?
Round of applause, everybody.
It's demon time, baby.
Yo, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The link's there, I think.
Or there.
Okay, or there.
Where's
Or
the link?
there. Or there. I don't know. I don't know.